Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Ripple faces securities suit in California over CEO's misleading statement. Next, is Biden shifting strategy on digital assets ahead of a Trump debate? Also, Fidelity amends Ether ETF filing, discloses $4.7 million in seed capital. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We have a quick request that doesn't cost you anything in order to help. Help us grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers by September, which would be our channel's 1-year anniversary. All we ask is that you click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. By clicking on these, it does help grow the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline: Ripple faces securities suit in California over CEO's misleading statement. Judge Phyllis Hamilton found XRP could be a security when sold in the retail market and gave the go-ahead to a lawsuit over statements from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. A United States federal court judge has greenlit a civil securities lawsuit against Ripple Labs, denying its summary judgment bid in a suit alleging its CEO broke California securities laws. The June 20th order by Judge Phyllis Hamilton of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California means a jury will decide if Ripple boss Brad Garlinghouse made misleading statements in a 2017 interview. The order has thrown out 4 allegations around Ripple's failure to register XRP as a security. In the 2017 interview on Canada's BNN Bloomberg, Garlinghouse said he was very, very long on XRP, but the suit alleges that was false as he sold millions of XRP throughout that year. During the pleading stage, this claim was narrowed such that it now arises out of a single alleged misleading statement by defendant Garlinghouse, namely the following statement made during a December 14, 2017 televised interview with the Business News Network, a link to which was also posted on Ripple's Twitter account. "I'm long XRP. I'm very, very long XRP as a percentage of my personal balance sheet. I am not long on some of the other digital assets because it is not clear to me what's the real utility, what problem are they really solving. If you're solving a real problem, if it's a scaled problem, then I think you have a huge opportunity to continue to grow that. We have been really fortunate, obviously. I remain very, very, very long XRP. There is an expression in the industry, hodl. Instead of hold, it's hodl. I'm on the hodl side. We are pleased that the California court dismissed all class action claims. The one individual state law claim that survived will be dealt with at trial," Ripple's chief legal officer, Stu Alderati, said in an emailed statement to Cointelegraph. In her order, Hamilton noted Ripple had argued the misleading statement claim should be thrown out as XRP is not a security under the Howey test, citing a landmark ruling in July 2023 by Judge Annalisa Torres in the lawsuit between the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple. However, Hamilton disagreed and instead found XRP could be a security when sold to non-institutional investors. She said they would have expected profits from Ripple's efforts, which is one of the markers used in the Howey test. The court declines to find as a matter of law that a reasonable investor would have derived any expectation of profit from general cryptocurrency market trends, as opposed to Ripple's efforts to facilitate XRP's use in cross-border payments, among other things. According, the court cannot find as a matter of law that Ripple's conduct would not have led a reasonable investor to have an expectation of profit due to the efforts of others, Hamilton wrote. Ripple's Alderati said the ruling from Judge Torres in the SEC case still stands and nothing here disturbs that decision. Many in the U.S. crypto industry hailed Torres' ruling as a huge win for the space in 2023, believing other judges would use it as precedent when weighing other crypto cases, but it isn't having as big of an impact as hoped. In the SEC's case against Terraform Labs, presiding judge Jed Radkoff, from the same courthouse as Torres, disagreed with the Ripple ruling in rejecting Terraform's dismissal motion in August. Terraform went on to lose that case, having to pay a $4.5 billion settlement to the SEC. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline is Biden shifting strategy on digital assets ahead of a Trump debate. Though Donald Trump began accepting Bitcoin for his 2024 campaign, he often criticized cryptocurrencies while in office. Long before election season in the United States, many crypto holders criticized President Joe Biden, Democratic Party lawmakers, and officials he nominated to serve as regulators in his administration. Though the U.S. president has infrequently made public statements on crypto, that position may be changing as Election Day approaches. Since taking office, President Biden, for better or worse, may have helped push crypto further into the mainstream conversation for presidential politics. Weeks after his inauguration, he nominated Gary Gensler as chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. In March 2022, he signed an executive order to establish a regulatory framework on digital assets. In 2024, the U.S. president announced and followed through with a veto of a resolution to overturn an SEC accounting rule on banks and crypto. Many U.S.-based crypto users also seemed to blame President Biden for lawmakers in his party voting against legislation and policies they considered positive for digital assets. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren has been one of the most vocal anti-crypto voices in Congress, often associating digital assets with the financing of terrorism and illicit activities. Under Gensler, the SEC stepped up enforcement actions against crypto firms, and cases are pending against Ripple, Coinbase, Kraken, and others. Publicly, the SEC chair has maintained that a come in and talk to us was the best path crypto projects could take to legally offer their products and services in the United States. However, many companies have criticized the regulator for inconsistent enforcement of securities laws, most recently with reports that the SEC considered labeling Ether a security. Trump's sordid history on crypto. In contrast, Trump moved from telling his Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, to go after Bitcoin in 2018 while he was president to calling cryptocurrencies not money and based on thin air in 2019. After leaving office in January 2021, Trump said BTC seemed like a scam and cryptocurrencies were potentially a disaster waiting to happen. I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity. Only starting in December 2022 did Trump seem more willing to embrace digital assets, launching a non-fungible token or NFT collection just a few weeks after he announced his re-election bid for the U.S. presidency on November 15, 2022. After beating out other pro-crypto Republican candidates in 2023 and 2024, he announced his campaign would accept crypto and planned to have all remaining Bitcoin mined in the United States. President Biden softening on crypto? Trump's mercurial position on crypto and other issues has many questioning whether his re-election would be a positive outcome for digital assets. Regardless of the former president's true intentions, reports have suggested that President Biden may also be considering appealing to crypto voters by softening his position on digital asset legislation, accepting campaign donations in Bitcoin, and influencing related policy at the SEC. after President Biden said he would veto an SEC rule on banks handling crypto. The White House issued a notice suggesting he would not do the same for the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century, or FIT21 Act. Though the U.S. President opposed the digital asset legislation, he added that he was eager to work with Congress for alternative bill to establish a regulatory framework for crypto. A House vote resulted in 71 Democratic lawmakers joining with a majority of Republicans to pass FIT21. The Biden administration is shifting its tone on the digital asset sector, said analysts at Pantera Capital in a June 18th letter. There have been reports of Biden's re-election campaign reaching out to players in the blockchain space requesting guidance on crypto policy moving forward. Mo Vila, a former advisor to then Vice President Biden, told Cointelegraph that both Republican and Democratic candidates needed to be very clear about where they stand in the future of the regulatory environment that they would create under their respective administrations. He added that both candidates had no choice but to acknowledge the impact of the crypto industry, suggesting that donations in digital assets were one such step. I think it's inevitable. They must, in my opinion, said Vila on the Biden campaign accepting crypto. It's integral for both candidates if they want to appeal to the over 60 million U.S. investors in crypto, many of whom are disproportionately Gen Z and millennial and young professionals. That is a huge swath of potential voters. Cointelegraph reached out to President Biden's re-election campaign for comment but did not receive a response at the time of publication. Remember the 5th of November. President Biden and Trump have less than 7 days to prepare for a June 27th presidential debate in which they will face off against each other in person for the first time since 2020. They are also scheduled for a second debate on September 10th. Trump already has support from many in the crypto industry, including Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, and executives from major mining firms. Some in the space, who suggest they plan to vote for President Biden, tout the nonpartisan nature of crypto rather than his policies or cite Trump's criminal conviction and legal troubles. Others outside the U.S. who are ineligible to vote still express concern about the ecosystem's future in the United States. I don't like Bitcoin being aligned with one party but not the other, Mauricio Di Bartolomeo, co-founder of crypto investment platform Ledn, told Cointelegraph. You're going to have an issue where the ones that are pro-crypto support it, build towards it, then it switches, and then these guys undo all the work the pro-Bitcoin people did. The best case for us is to show both parties why America should have access to Bitcoin. Election Day in the United States will be November 5th. Trump will be sentenced in New York on July 11th, just a few days before the Republican National Convention nominates the party's presidential candidate. The former U.S. president has been found liable for sexual assault, convicted of 34 felony counts as part of efforts to cover up hush money payments to a porn star, and found liable for fraud connected to his businesses. Our next top headline, Fidelity amends Ether ETF filing, discloses $4.7 million in seed capital. Bloomberg analyst Eric Balchanis anticipates that additional asset managers will update their filings on June 21st, with Ether ETFs potentially debuting on July 2nd. Investment giant Fidelity has again updated its application for a spot Ether exchange-traded fund. In a June 21st filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, Fidelity has amended its Form S-1 registration statement, which is required to register investments for public sale. The new filing reveals that FMR Capital, an affiliate of Fidelity, purchased 125,000 shares at a cost of $38 to seed the fund's basket with $4.7 million. The money was used to purchase 1,250 Ether. In addition, Fidelity confirmed that it will not engage in ETH staking. Staking services were removed from the company's initial proposal a month ago on May 21st. The trust will not participate in the proof-of-stake validation mechanism of the Ethereum network, i.e., the trust will not stake its Ether to earn additional Ether or seek other means of generating income from its Ether holdings, reads the filing. The SEC has approved a rule change allowing the listing and trading of 8 spot Ether ETFs from major asset managers including Van Eck, BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, ARK 21 Shares, Invesco Galaxy, and Bitwise. The ETFs still require SEC approval for their S1 forms before they can begin trading. According to Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchanis, more asset managers are expected to amend their filings on June 21st. The analyst predicts the fund's debut on July 2nd. Balchanis wrote on X, "We will see a bunch of amended S1s filed today, prob later this afternoon, then balls in SEC's court to let issuers know about any final changes and effectiveness, aka final approval. We holding the line with July 2nd as our over-under for ETH ETF's launch date." Bitwise has also updated its proposal with the SEC on June 19th. The asset manager included a potential $100 million investment in the ETF from Pantera Capital upon its trading launch. Another asset manager seeking regulatory approval is Hashdex. On June 18th, the company proposed creating a combined spot Bitcoin and Ether ETF on the NASDAQ exchange. A few weeks before this filing, Hashdex dropped plans to offer a sole Ether ETF. So this concludes Crypto Top Headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.